Uh, Hello and welcome to this new podcast. I have with me a brand new guest, someone who said yes at the first go, which is a rarity with my guest. And also, we are here within a week of her saying yes. I wish I was as lucky in other endeavors that I have in life. But thank you so much, Mayuri, for joining me today.
You're welcome.
And it's a pleasure to uh, ask you questions. I only have one question because I demand my guests join me without any preconceived notion of what I'm going to ask. I do not allow myself the privilege of knowing more than one question myself. And that one question is just to begin the conversation.
Okay.
So I have a very heavy handed first question. You are an artist, uh,
Yeah.
and this episode will be called The Other Side of an Assistant Director. Uh,
Okay.
Now, I was thinking, I've done quite a few chats with different kinds of artists in the not so recent past and in the recent past as well. What do you think is the role of an artist in today's world? You personally, not in terms of philosophy, but when you are out there, you are being an artist. What do you think is your role in the world?
You should know to express yourself, is what I feel. And then art has its own medium. The way so I express through painting. People who write express themselves through writing. I call them also as artists. So
Yeah.
whatever you see, you feel, you got to express it. That is
So,
what art for me is.
so, is there any criteria to what one can feel? Is there any role towards the society, or there is no such burden according to you?
So this feeling is it depends from person to person how you see things, how the person sees things, and every artist has got his or her own perspective towards life, and that is how their so people develop their own styles. It is their perspective how they see things.
Your, I want to know what is your take on uh, this particular aspect. Do you think we should have a voice that represents the world in some manner or not?
Of course, yes, we should. But for that, first thing I feel is to know yourself, and I am still learning myself, knowing myself in that process. But eventually, I think I will find my style myself.
Okay. When you're saying you're exploring yourself, can you delve a little bit on that? Like, what is it that an artist does when one is exploring oneself? Is it just the art form, or is it the voice? Is it figuring out likes and dislikes? Is it all of this? What is it?
It is all of it. So it starts with the day, and it also is mm, how many people I meet, how I communicate with them. So I learn, no, I keep learning. Everything around me is teaching me. The morning chirping of the bird, I go out, the traffic signals, horns, everything around is teaching. So yeah, that is how I see things. I meet new people, I learn something from them, and everything these days. So now I am at that stage where when I get breaks, I paint. Earlier, I used to just sit and chill and not do anything, just read at times. So yeah, that is how I'm exploring myself.
Okay. Uh,
I would was I able to answer your question?
I am. We are trying to figure out what you're saying. Okay, I'll give you an example of how I started in something that my one of my first bosses taught me. Like you said, everything is a learning, but there was a certain sense of being present in wherever one was. So while waiting for the train or while jostling inside to get your space, how
Yeah,
people talk,
yeah,
how people. I have a favorite episode that I talk about. There was one. very accomplished guy, a family friend's son. So we were like family friends, and obviously there used to be this comparison where these guys have reached and where we are, and typical parents thing had happened during those days. So he was doing very well for himself. He was an MBA and he had those positions and jargon and everything in place. I had kind of quit engineering and got into writing, and I was working for a very small agency. But it was heaven. Everyone who spoke to me was God, and I said, "Arey, this is the language I've been yearning to listen to, and this is the kind of outlook I want." Like I used to work 16 hours a day and feel that they were less. I wanted more time with those people, and but when he met me, we were traveling together. He said he asked me some jargon, and I said, "No, I don't pay attention to that." And he said, "So what do you base your communication on?" And I had said, "Gut feel." So he landed up saying, "Oh, one man's gut feel is going to sell to 10,000 people out there." I said, "Just because one man's gut feel does not feature in your stupid textbook doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Right.
There are human beings I relate to. There are brothers, sisters, lovers, friends, ordinary people, extraordinary people, music, so many things that I see, that I borrow from, that I'm fascinated by. So why would I think they don't mean anything at all?" So he was quite taken aback, and after that, kind of spoke respectfully, comparatively. But it also set me thinking, because while it was a clever answer, I said, "Oh, I feel so strongly about this. I didn't know that." And as an artist, we are quite vulnerable. So now my question is, when you say that you're exploring, one part of the question is, are you aware that you're exploring? Is it a special kind of attention you're trying to pay to the situation, to the event, to the moment? And also, can you give us an example of what you gain out of it? Anything, it need not be so specific.
Yeah. So, first and foremost, from your points only, it is about being in the present. When I'm sitting here, when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. I'm not thinking of anything else around me. Yes, aware of the surroundings, that is there, but then you need to focus on what you're doing. Um, Apart from that, so um, now when I'm into direction, whatever happens in the office, I'm learning new things there also. And if I keep thinking about something else there, I won't be able to understand what is happening over there. And then it's about studying it. Also, I do not consume things which are not necessary. Not necessary as in, now I've understood what I want to consume and what I don't want to consume. I usually avoid listening to, just giving it an example, I avoid listening to those Bollywood songs that come. Just an example. I watch the content that is going to help me grow. And it is, when it comes to books, it comes to movies, it comes to social media, everything here, I have segregated things, and I know that I want to consume this and I want to know this. I don't want to watch stupid reels. I mean, calling them stupid because for me it is stupid. It might be interesting for someone else, but those are not going to help me grow at all. And at the end of the day, I want to be, I want to see me very calm, and things have pretty much changed from the day I started segregating these things. Earlier, I used to watch these things and they stay in your head, and I don't know if it is necessary to have them or see at them.
Okay.
So that is how I'm doing things.
That's a good example. Okay, on the absolute other end of this same example that you gave, I realize that there are certain things that are critical that I may have not ventured into, uh, like you are segregating them initially.
Correct.
But also, over a period, I am also realizing that, oh, I have changed my view about this. Does that happen to you as well? It may not be cast in stone that, okay, I'm never going to do this. Or is it necessary?
See, it's a very simple example. One more, smoking cigarettes, right? Smoking cigarettes, you know, it is not good for you. So I would never change my mind to going back to smoking cigarettes.
Okay, a good example. Now, one question about your life in the beginning as an artist. How did you decide to explore art? Because if I remember correctly, you told me you were an art director in an ad agency earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how did that happen, and uh, when did you realize that was the kind of exploration you wanted with yourself?
So as a kid, I've been painting. My sister is into art, and then we used to paint. My skills got developed there because I used to practice painting so much that till the age, like when I was in 12th standard, I was very good with painting and drawing stuff. And then I came to JJ. When I came to JJ, art happened to me in a very different way. JJ was indeed a very beautiful journey for me because everyone around is full of ideas and raw. They are all raw. People come from small towns and villages and have got art in them. And then it was a jump. I had no clue about going into advertising, no clue. So Manish Bhatt, who was my first boss, he is at Scarecrow. He owns Scarecrow. So he hired us, and so he taught us like from the basics. He told us to watch more of ads. He told us what the idea is, how you see the brief, how you work on it. And then from that, I started developing interest in ads, and then I started seeing films in a very different way. That okay, filmmaking got so art and painting was not restricted now. So it was not just the paintbrush and my canvas. It was such a big world out there. There was camera, there was sound, there was gradation. Photoshop, Illustrator came to life, and these softwares are next level. And then now at this stage, I am exploring films. It's all about that. So yeah, life came through painting to advertising, now filming.
Okay. Um, you mentioned that he taught the experience that you had at JJ changed your perception of art.
Yeah.
I want to know a little more about if there could be a particular example one day when the penny drop happened about, oh, I never thought about art this way. Some example that is from your life.
One, so for when the people come by doing foundation and all, right, to JJ or Rachna, they do foundation. I was a noob. I did my 12th and directly, luckily, I cleared my CET and I got into JJ. So my batchmates were very good. And I've developed a lot of skills during this process. And then life changed when we were in our third year, where we met this person called Arun Kale. So these were our teachers, like they came as faculty to teach us advertising. Arun sir, Gopi Kukre, okay, I don't remember the Pakistan names because I was with Arun sir. And this was the first time I got introduced to what advertising actually is. A chotu sa this idea, and we were working on it like for throughout the year. He wouldn't let me go ahead. He was like, no, you got to work on it. And that is how I understood how important it is to understand that brief. And वो एक idea, एक छोटू सा idea, and it is boom. It can do magic. You can extend it to any go. And he introduced us to a lot of advertising books. He got his library to JJ. उन्होंने so our fourth floor, he changed one entire room to a library. And then I won a lot of not lot of awards. My first award in advertising was best in illustration for advertising. I had done this campaign on Karma, the digital radio player, and I did illustrations for it. And he helped me with the line that was Yaro ki Barat, and I did that campaign. That is how I was into advertising. Until now, he's been my mentor throughout. So I'm blessed to have him in my life.
As an ideator, Okay, now I will define this because I want people who are watching this also to understand what is normal to us advertising guys. Uh, Earlier, I was good with words as a writer, as you must have been with art and painting. But ideas are a different ball game altogether. Somebody teaches you what is the idea, and once you've learned how to ideate, then you bring the idea and the expression together, and then sometimes even create a third idea out of it.
Correct.
My question is, the ideation also involves the intellect far more than the execution sometimes does. Is it something that you work on consciously? Do you have a system that, okay, right now I will sit and ideate, or is there, because sometimes in my case earlier there used to be sometimes the execution itself was the idea,
Right.
so there was not much intellect to be put to it. So like for example, this is a very petty example, but when we are talking, very often you will find me making very poor puns out of something or the other sometimes, and it is more the execution itself and is the vibe. If you and I both kind of realize, oh, we like this, then we keep on creating this and it's just a fun game kind of thing. Now there is not much method to the madness except for that we are just creating some nonsense, whereas in some other cases where the, no, the idea itself is so beautiful that you don't have the word or expression for it then, but you know that there is something that has come to you. And
Yeah.
you're, so for example, again, for my audience, one of the first ideas that I cracked on my own was for a company called RCF, Rashtriya Chemicals and Fertilizers. I had done they had we had to do something to do with eco-friendly nature of their work. So at their factory, they used to throw some chemical effluents deep into the sea, like 4 kilometers under the sea or something like that. And the idea I had cracked was I had shown a big fish, and it said, "Leave me alone." We complied. Um, so that was loved by them, and then they said, "You have to do one more." And then I had done one where this one, the second one, I couldn't crack the line. I knew what I wanted to do. So there was a tree being shown, and there were 3 sensors in the air to check for the chemical composition in case some leak had happened. And I kept struggling and struggling and struggling because this one line was cracked and the other one wasn't falling in place. And I remember this was at 3 in the night, like halfway through my sleep, I just got the line. I got up and I started to write. There were no computers, no iPads or any such thing. So I wanted to write it down before I forgot it. And I was very happy. So I ended up writing the line and my brother screamed, "Will you let me sleep?" And I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, it's 3 in the night. I need to sleep." But the line was a 24-hour security has been provided to this plant. But for this is like now what, 25, 30 years. But it remains with me because it is one of the happier moments of my creative life.
Correct. 3 p.m., 3 a.m.
3 a.m. And you're working, working, working. You need, so sometimes you know what you want to see. So my question to you is, how do you look at intellect? Or this is also because you said a lot of people came to JJ from uh, say poor backgrounds or maybe no background of art itself and were fabulous. How do you look at your intellect? Is it a help? Is it a hindrance? In fact, this is similar to the question Chintan warned us about, but in a different context. How do you look at intellect and how do you use it? Because a creative person may not need it is sometimes thought, but in advertising we do use it a lot.
I feel it is important. You do need it. It should be there somewhere in the back of the mind. And about ideas, uh, ideas have never. So the way you got up at 3 a.m. and got the ideas have always come to me like that only. It has never happened that I'm sitting with a book and pen Like you write, but that idea won't come. And achanak say it will come out anywhere. It might come while you're dumping or by taking shower, cooking. It will come anytime. So,
Yeah.
but you should be very much serious about it. It should be there in the back of your mind. If you forget about it, then it's gone. So it's how
Oh.
seriously you take it.
Okay. So now coming a little closer to your journey in the last couple of months, your movement from being an art director, which is not restricted to doing films. It also requires you to work ideas of print and digital and all other media that we have now. Why did you make the shift to films? What was it, or what is it that attracts you to this media?
Um, Again, the way I jumped from JJ into advertising. So I was at Ogilvy when I got an opportunity from Manila to work as an director's assistant. And that is when I saw one more door opening on my way. And I had an option. I could have stick to advertising, just advertising at Ogilvy, or because I had learned advertising till then, I know what it is. Then I had to work on myself, but I had a glimpse of what advertising is. Now it was learning something more, and a very big opportunity is what I saw. So I came into films, and again, here it is knowing uh, things more precisely. So into advertising, we worked on the idea, we worked on the 360-degree campaign, prints, digital, everything. But what happens on sets, I was unaware of it, completely unaware of it. I know the PPM deck is made and then we give it to the director and then the director does his job. But all these things, costumes, casting, yes, I know what it is, but doing that, I had never done that. And now I do it. So I also see how the film is going to be, how the grade of it is going to be. And the main thing that I am still working on is the short breakdown, where you have to clip it is a task, which eventually I learn. I'm learning much
Yeah.
of it.
Okay. I'll come. I have a question on that so that people understand what a short breakdown is. But before that, a more nascent kind of question is uh, most people are quite afraid of taking new routes because things may go wrong. Uh, whatever you've learned or succeeded at may be lost. Um, what makes you so confident of keeping on changing track? Um, is there is it only intuition or is there some thought to it?
Oh, yeah, it is intuitions. uh, Thought, I don't know, I'm just ready for it, and I'm just like whatever is going to happen is going to happen for good. I don't give I don't worry much that अरे ये हो गया तो क्या होएगा. I'm very much prepared for it and I just go for it, and that is how I have come this way. And I've learned this when I've been in the mountains as well, where you climb, you don't give up, you just go for it. It's your
What
intuition.
about the butterflies?
The butterflies?
You don't have any stress about, okay, I'm leaving a cushy job, going to a smaller setup. For example, I'm not calling vanilla small.
Yeah,
Uh,
from Ogilvy. I understand.
so you are taking a call, and also it's a clean break of sorts. Now you are a bona fide filmmaker. At least for the say, if you stick here around for 2 years or 3 years, then you will not be seen as an art director again and given a job of the same nature. You may not get the position that you want if you continue working. So those kinds of fears don't come to you.
They do. Also, there were so many people who made me aware of this, that once you, so you're leaving a big agency, you're going to a smaller one. If you ever plan to come back here, you won't be given that position here because you're going to a smaller thing.
Yeah.
But I know this one thing, that I'm not going back there. I am going to find my way through that thing only. So
Okay. Is it common? this attitude, according to you?
No.
So what gives you the confidence that what you're doing is right? I want you to think on it. Because it's a jump. See, you know, it's not that you're stupid. Okay, I'm impulsive. I decided I want to do this. This happens to us creative people sometimes. But this is a big jump. You are not unaware of the consequences.
I am unaware of the consequences, yes, but I am not scared or afraid of what is going to happen again. What my present is teaching me is good for me. I am happy here, and I don't want to worry what's going to happen, because if I worry, then that worry is going to take me somewhere. So why worry? I'm just taking it very positively that yes, I know I'm going to do this and I'm going to grow out of this.
Okay, so I want to throw a spanner in your works and okay, not worrying is one thing, but foolhardiness is another thing.
Mm,
I'm asking you. I don't intend to run down your dreams or your attempt.
correct,
It is trying to understand the mind space so that okay, let me explain it to you. The idea of this whole podcast is to get into spaces where we take decisions like these with respect to the mind space that we operate from.
Yeah.
So, what is the mind space of a Mayuri when she is jumping from a cushy job where she is doing well, going to a place where she's unaware of how it will go, but at the same time happy? So, my question is also about, so instead of planning for success, should one look at happiness in the present moment and keep moving forward and जो होगा देखा जाएगा? Is that a good attitude to
Yes, of course.
have?
Yeah, absolutely.
Acha, okay. So let's put this forward. A couple of months, say you don't succeed in what you're doing, anything, man. Office politics, your own mood, you lose interest in films or something else happens. Uh, how would you look at this then? And would you change then?
As a person,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say this smile is always going to be there. I'm going to find some small job. It's okay. If not this, I can do something else for sure. I can paint. I can teach kids. I'm open to whatever work comes on my plate. I'm open to do that. And for me, I really don't want a big house, a big car. That those were never my dreams. So there's my goal is not to reach there somewhere. It is to know myself more, to find what makes me happy more. That one thing that I can constantly do in my life, whatever it is, I want to find that out. And I guess I'm on the right path, and one should keep moving, one should not stay stuck. If you so we use I see people of my age, my friends and all, most of them are stuck because at this age they are very much scared, or some people have this responsibilities, some people want to achieve something, want to become big, and there's so much of competition when it comes to advertising. Everybody wants to earn more. um, their ads should be successful, people should know them more. Social media पे likes बहुत ज़्यादा मिलना चाहिए. If one is not getting more likes, लोग दुखी हो जाते हैं. I don't know why they become sad. It's okay. I feel even if you have a small audience, that's okay. That's just you. Don't
Okay.
be hungry.
Are you as perfect as you are? Are you as perfect as you are sounding it out, or you are also trying to figure out? Okay, maybe this is what I think.
No, I know this is what I am. It
No,
is.
no. This is. I'm just trying to provoke you into getting to a deeper mind space, if there's any. Um, you said that you're looking for something that you'll be consistently doing so that it gives you that kind of satisfaction.
Yeah.
What is that thing?
For me, painting, my colors and my brush has always been there. Painting is not just for me. So when I don't paint for myself, I teach kids, I take activities. I'm good with that. I can be a school teacher also. I don't mind doing that. I can go work at a cafe, paint a cafe. I don't mind doing that either. I just need my colors, and I don't want to compete with anybody. I am very much so as a kid. No, my parents used to tell me to participate in everything. And one thing that my mom told me, it's okay if you don't win, just participate. Uh, अभी मेरे को I don't want to participate either. I just want to be there where I am and see this.
What made you stumble onto this sense of calm and confidence that you have? Is it your quality of work? Is it something else? What
So
makes you so comfortable?
I have done when I was in 12th standard, I did my first trek as a solo traveler, and I got addicted to that travel thing. Addicted as in it gave me. I explored so many things. I was very much scared, and so were my parents. अकेली है, लड़की है, अभी तक बच्ची है. How will you travel? And I've been born and brought up in Uran, a very small place. So how are you going to go in the world? And I was like, it's okay. I'll take care of myself. Don't worry. And I met so many people, and I've always done cheap travels. I never had money to do expensive travel, so my travel has been. And during that time, no, I met so many people. So what is luxury for me would be necessity for someone, is what I've learned. So I need fan. I cannot live without fan. But someone who doesn't have fan is fine with just the hawa ka jhoka that comes in their window. Uh, Food also, food people. I mean, there's the world out there is so beautiful. You can learn. There's humanity. There's nothing to be scared of. We worry. We feel that somebody is going to rob us. उधर अंधेरा है तो उधर नहीं जाना चाहिए. उधर बास आ रहा है, कचरा है. वो बास अपने लिए बास होता है, किसी के लिए वो उनका रेगुलर लाइफस्टाइल है. So during my travel, I saw slums. I saw people. When I went to mountains, there was this village called Osla. It comes after Sankri. You climb up. It's a 3-day trek, and there up, women have not seen what vehicles are. They have never seen a car, a smartphone. They the that rural process of delivering babies. And when I learned, and they were my age, they were 25, having 5 kids, working in fields, that was life for them. Happy, no problems in life. Problems used to be what? Just इसने मुझको ऐसा बोला, या फिर they're least interested in what's happening on phone, किसने क्या किया, like no way, no news. And life is very peaceful, very beautiful. We just need to find it. We live in Mumbai or maybe these cities. We have become a part of the chaos. And so people who trek, who travel, they do travel, but then when they go there in the mountains, they start missing home. They start missing home because maybe I feel they are वो खुद के साथ रहना ही नहीं सीख पाते हैं, अकेले में बोर हो जाते हैं. If you start living happily with yourself, nothing in life is going to bore you or challenge you, because you know yourself so much that no matter what is coming on you, let it come. I'm going to stand here. I'm going to take it all.
Okay. Well, I didn't expect so much wisdom from you. And that's why I'm a little stunned. And it is so beautiful because it's instinctive that I asked you immediately, and you come and talk. Thank you for the no filter version so far. So what irks you? What is the problem that Mayuri brings with her wherever she goes?
I usually don't put the first word. I'm that person who will sit in the corner and just be there and see what people are doing, observe things. And it is not me being antisocial or something. Once you start talking with me, you'll be like, okay, you shut up now, you don't talk. But yeah, for me, putting the first word, and yeah, I'm very quiet. Very quiet.
So
I'll just sit.
is it bad? I mean, what are the points that will trouble somebody that you're quiet?
I don't know. These days I started feeling that I should be talking. I should be talking, but it is very difficult for me to talk unnecessarily. I keep quiet. Very difficult.
Okay,
I'm working.
yeah, sorry. I don't think that's required at all. You're
Yeah.
doing quite fine. You were doing quite fine when I met you first. Um, what are the things that um, you think you do not have yet? Even with everything that you are contented with, what is it that makes you keep moving ahead? Or you don't bother about all of that? You're just learning and the journey is fun. And is there anything that you will achieve and feel happy about? Uh, Whatever it is, it could be small.
Yeah. So yeah, it could be small. I want something that is self-sustainable, something where I don't have to be dependent on anybody. So like your YouTube channel, it's just yours. You have it, you take it anytime. You do one channel, you're satisfied with what you're doing. It's something what I want to do. And I've started. I'm on it. Working on it.
Okay.
So
You are also working on a YouTube channel or something else?
no, not on the YouTube channel. Something else. Something that's more connected to nature is what I would like to
Uh,
do.
are you willing to talk about it, or should I ask some other question?
Yeah, because that is something that is a very different part of me. So yeah, you can ask a different question.
Okay. Um, there is a lot of negativity among artists also sometimes.
Yeah.
Uh, has something like that ever happened with you? And if it has, you don't have to tell me names or the incident, maybe loosely the incident, but how have you dealt with it? Or are there any other tough times that you've gone through as an artist where you felt um, sometimes cheated of, you could have done more but you weren't allowed to for whatever reason, or anything at all?
First thing is artists are free. They cannot be controlled. Nobody can tell them what uh, you have to do. So when they are being told that ye karna, it becomes very difficult to work with or work on. Yes, there was a stage where I was just like, what am I doing? But I was just working. Okay, fine. I got to earn money out of it. And then I did that. I did it till the time I realized that this is something I don't want to do, and I stopped doing it. And a lot of artists know people bring in drugs and all into it. I mean, come on, drugs is a part of it now. Let's get over it. Let people do what they want to do. Why do you want to put a star with drugs to artists? Not necessary.
Hmm. Uh,
And lot of artists know they are very much underpaid. Is what I feel. No artist has ever got what he or she deserves. No artist. हमेशा कम पैसा देते हैं उनको.
yeah, I'll communicate this to your respective
No.
boss. uh, okay. One of the questions that is running in my head right now, what are the new learnings? Because this whole sense of uh, curiosity is the word I would have used, but you have made it look very academic in the way you've been disciplined about talking about it. But in the last couple of months that you have jumped and tried this new um, career, if I were to call it, for want of a better term, what is it that has given you the most pleasure in terms of outlook?
No, it's still adjusting with stuff because it's been what happened is it's a lot of drastic changes in my life. I shifted from Belapur to Goregaon, and I've been living. So I was living alone there. I'm living here alone. But when you live alone at this age, when you're not prepared, when you're so much pampered at home, and you got to do all this stuff. There are a lot of things happening throughout. And with that, but when I'm at office, I be there. I understand how these guys work, director's vision, how it is, how he sees a film when the brief comes to him, how he segregates it. So we first make a deck and get on it. And most the thing that as a assistant art director that I'm doing is coordination, being the middle person. Like the director is going to tell me that these things have to be done, and I got to get it done. So being a briefing the storyboard artist, getting the work from him, making the deck, um, putting the script, understanding what shots have to be designed by the storyboard artist. I used to do storyboards too, but damn, this is very quick. They need it like in a week or sometime, and I'm going to take my time, so I don't do storyboards anymore. But then getting it done from him. So when you know how difficult that job is, and you got to do it, got to get it done from him, and you got to give him changes again and again, and you know how hectic it is, but you still be nice to them, and they you know they're going to get mad at you because you would get mad, but you have to take it, be nice to them, don't lose your control. So yeah, a lot of things. It's more like coordination. It's fun. It's fun. My first shoot had been, I saw the first AD was Varun giving the instruction. The entire day he was on his mic, lights, action. So that, oh my god, I wondered how does Varun stay so much energetic? What does he do? But yeah, a lot of energy and being calm no matter what. The pace he started with, the morning also he was working with that energy and enthusiasm. At evening also he was working with that energy and enthusiasm. He did not lose it. So I guess no matter how stormy the situation is going to get, I don't have to lose my control. Be calm, breathe.
Wonderful. Um, what are the necessities that an artist should have for sure, according to you? Although you did say that there are no rules, you can't bind artists. But say you're working with other people here. You mentioned this guy called Varun being enthusiastic and energetic all day long, doing whatever he was supposed to do. Now, even if he may not want to do it at that point of time, he has to do it and he has to stay very um, vivacious because you cannot let other people down with your problems. And obviously, there are problems that everybody may have. So, according to you, who is a good artist in the context of having to work with others? Or what are the qualities a good artist should have? So, if I'm a new artist today, I'm watching and expecting Mayuri to tell me, okay, develop these skills, they will help you in the long term. What would they be?
Yeah, that's tough one. What would I develop?
Okay, breathe is one thing you said. The first thing
Breathe.
is
Yeah,
to remember
always.
to breathe.
Correct. All now also I should breathe. Always, always. Whenever I get angry, anxious, happy, sad, breathe. Just breathe. Stay there and breathe. Um. So even if you're a freelancer, you're working with some company or whatever it is, mm, make sure that uh, you don't lose yourself while doing it for others. Most of the artists lose on their style or what they are, and then they start working with the herd. Don't go with the herd. You are the artist. You're that black and white may different color, I would say. You're different, right? And don't be afraid to be different. It's okay to be different. People are going to judge you anyways. You do anything, people are going to judge you. Don't be afraid of the judgments of anyone, not even your boss, not even your colleagues. uh, Stand, speak, be bold about it. Because if you don't speak it, the person in front of you wouldn't understand what you want, and you will only get what you want when you ask for it. If you don't ask for it, you won't get it.
Does that mean speak your truth fearlessly?
Yeah. Totally.
How important are morals to an artist, to being a good artist?
Very important, because they are going to help you speak the truth. You won't be afraid of when you are true, when you know that this is right, you won't be afraid. Even if you're given a mic or anything, that's okay. And truth is something that can be said in a very subtle way. You don't have to shout out the truth. It can be said in a very calm way.
Okay. Your answers have been refreshingly enjoyable. I don't have any more questions. I am so happy that we spoke today, and this has been a wonderful chat. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. And now, are you going to cut this, or you're going to upload the entire?
I will cut the part where there was this technical hitch when we spoke about other matters. But otherwise, no, there is everything that goes out is as authentic. If you fumbled, I have fumbled, anything that happens continues unhindered, unfiltered out there. Since you asked, I'll also tell you the reason I want this to go out on record. It's not that I'm unaware that this can be professionally better. The questions could be better, there could be better edits, I could add sound or do stuff. The idea is that this is your and my gift as authentic people to the world, and helping them be stronger in terms of gifting their own authenticity to the world again.
Correct.
It's difficult. It's very difficult for me as well sometimes to not want to correct things. But no, this is our gift to the world, and I will not sully it by making it proper. Everything
Yeah,
is in as it is.
that's
So,
the beauty of it. And I love it. That's nice. It's
yes,
raw.
it's raw. Thank you so much. I'll see you around.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. See you. Bye.
Bye.
I can move.